Hey, bitches, we're back.
All right, and we have a new format now. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Spilling Tea with Samantha and Dr. B. It's been so long.
That was a really awkward introduction.
It's always awkward. That's what we're known for. We cannot, for the life of us, make a good video. I mean, not a good video.
A good video.
So mean.
They all suck. Thanks for sticking around.
An introduction. We just don't, because we actually start talking before you actually see us, so that's pretty good. But then we say some very vulgar things.
Yeah, cussing and swearing. We're coming to you from the great outdoors of
Georgia.
Of Georgia. I was about to drop some
I know you were. I was like, of Georgia.
Out of the side,
Georgia.
out of the corner of my eyes here, go. Just like that, and I was like, all right, it's cool. It's cool. We're gonna break that down. Yes, well, we're in Georgia. It's a beautiful day. It's a solid 65 degrees, not a cloud in the sky.
It's actually very vibrantly blue. I was looking at this when I was walking earlier, just being outside, and even today I'm looking around, I'm like, blue.
Blue. Yeah.
Green.
It's a color.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, spring is here, so I'm so sorry if you're dealing with snow.
Yeah.
You fucking live there, so.
I love snow, though. I really do miss it. That's one thing I really do miss about Georgia, is I truly
That you miss
love
about
snow.
Georgia?
Miss about
Where?
Michigan. Miss about Michigan is that I truly.
Need alcohol.
I truly miss the snow, though,
We don't
because
have anything to drink this episode.
we don't. How
Well,
are we
I do.
supposed
I've
to
got water, but that's boring as shit.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna drink on life, because I'm gonna go like
Drink
this.
on
I'm gonna go like That's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna make it. Okay, so I thought maybe it'd be fun today. Like, it's a beautiful day out. We've been chit-chatting about different things, and it has been a few minutes since we talked to you guys last.
Sorry.
It's kind of been going through some shit, though. So I think that it's reasonable. Like, whatever. We got stuff that we're dealing with people,
you have
too.
to give us some grace, because
we
we are
love
people
you.
too,
Yeah.
and we do feel really bad. But you know what you can do to, if you miss our videos, because these are kind of few and far between. I'm really active over on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, really. I'm looking at you. Really active.
Let me know, because I have no idea.
So I'm Insta-storying like almost all the time. We just did a live video, actually. We pop on from time to time together doing live videos, which is really fun, where you can interact with us in real time, which if you're into that, that's what we do.
I'm into a lot of things.
Yeah. So I'm over on Instagram. What would you say? Instagram too?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the most. I'm kind of like in this weird kind of semi-detox from social media, and I'm feeling great about it, to be honest.
That's
like,
awesome.
I'm loving the idea of staying away from it. I know it's not like helping with like followers or people who want to hear more from me, but like right now I just needed a little break.
Yeah.
So I'm just not worrying about
And
it.
even if he's not posting, like I said, the Insta stories, like he usually makes a random guest appearance like pretty frequently. So even if he's not posting, you can follow me to get a little taste of him.
And I taste delicious. Some people have said it's a little bit like almonds, but more so like a strong shot of coffee.
Well, you do drink an obscene amount of coffee.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't.
Like almond coffee. What if I tasted like almond coffee?
Is that a thing?
No, I don't taste like almond coffee. It's my own arm. You can lick anything you want of your own, or other people's. Don't be body shaming. Thank you. Anyway, coming into this video, we were like, what are we going to talk about? And I thought that it would be fun to talk about an upcoming major event that is going to be occurring. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of like spring some questions on you.
Yay!
How does that sound?
It sounds so good. All right.
So
I got my blazer for professionalism.
I've got my Taz came to the party, so we're here.
Okay.
Okay. So what is it that you have going on? Iron Author.
So my
Video
debut.
starting?
What?
You were starting about like your book.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
They kind of got
forgetting.
a little taste.
I thought you were forgetting
no, they got
because
a little taste.
it's
They
just
got
a
a little-
book.
It's just a
Yeah,
book.
it's just a book, you know, that she wrote and grew inside her brain for 9 months, and
Definitely longer than 9 months. It's taken years.
and you birthed it through your fingers, and those things are small. Can you imagine putting a watermelon through those? So why don't you tell us all, and for those of us who are watching who maybe don't know, but then also just to put it out there, what's the name of this book?
The name of the book is Dawn Among the Stars.
From what series?
The Starless series.
Yes. Okay, so first glance...
Like I don't know. That's so stupid. Anyway.
Know all about the book
The
because...
Starless series, Dawn Among the Stars, book 1, out May 1st.
May 1st? That's
21st. Oh my god, I got it wrong.
I just looked like George Bush there for a second.
Yay.
Did you see it? I was like... Whatever. Okay, so May 21st, Dawn Among the Stars comes out from the Starless series. And the last time that we spoke about it, you said it was going to be maybe about 4 books long?
The goal would be 4 books,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe more
So-
if the fans want it. Like, I'm open to it. I got some ideas.
So I don't want to ask you about, like, give any details that you don't want to give yet. But I'm wondering if you could tell us, like, in one sentence or less,
Oh, God.
what is the arc of this story? What's going to hook us?
So, the arc of the story. Well, it is, first and foremost, a homage to social justice. There's a lot of
Okay.
things going on in the world. So for me, it is about discovering what it means to be human. What is mental health, and how do you triumph through that and adversity?
Yeah.
And then what are healthy relationships? What's that look like? And it doesn't just mean about sex, because I know now on the internet I'm known as like the alien sex guru, which is like super thrilling and exciting. But it's not just about alien sex; it's about relationships, whether it's with an alien or a human or family or whatever. It's about all those things. But I think it's about heart at the end of it, and
Okay.
there's a lot of storylines, but it always comes down to heart and passion.
All right, so I pulled out some themes from there, from what you were saying.
Okay.
And I've heard aliens, humans,
Yes.
some about sex at the end, but not like a lot. It's not a focus. It's about relationships.
Yeah.
It's about mental health, social justice issues.
Always.
So for the person who's not into social justice
Yeah.
or cares about those kinds of things a
Yeah.
lot,
It's one
Why
hell
would they
of a
read it?
ride. It's just
Why would they read it,
one
though?
hell of a ride. So
okay.
it's got something in there for everybody. So there's adventure, there's a love
Okay.
story, there's evil twists and plots, So there's something. If
Okay,
you
but
like,
is there space battles?
yes.
Is there anything even remotely close to a Death Star?
Yes. And you can see it. I wish we could insert
You heard
the
it here
cover-
first.
the
You
cover
heard it
story.
here first. What was that? Because that's new.
Oh, that is new. Okay.
That's new.
Yeah.
That's not in the trailer, which we'll link below. It's also not in any of the promotional materials that we've seen.
No, but there is a ship on the cover, but we don't know whose ship is that. Whose ship is that? Is it
I'm
a
always
good
trying to
ship
figure
or a
out whose
bad
ship
ship?
it is. Get it? Because ship is like shit.
Yeah, it's a good ship or a bad ship.
All right, so give us maybe, like, who are the main characters then?
So I'm just gonna say the alien race that we either
Oh,
like
yeah,
or we
yeah.
don't like,
Okay.
and so in their language it's Lamertian, the Lamertians.
Yeah.
But because Earth has so many different languages and it's all crazy, people mostly call them shielders.
Ooh, Shielders. Where's that from? What's that about?
They're from the planet of Seleucia.
Okay, so that's their planet, but, like, where did the term Shielders come from?
So it's
what's
like they're
Shielders about?
shielding Earth from harm, but we don't know. It's a question mark. Like, what harm is that?
So they just showed up one day and they said, "We're helping you."
They didn't show up just one day. We're trying to figure that out because it looks like they just rolled up and they were like, "Hi, we're here." But they've actually been working with Earth's governments for like a pretty long time, like 50, 60 years. But you didn't know.
Fucking Area 51.
That's where they met.
More
It's a real
tidbits.
thing. It's a
More
real thing.
tidbits.
Yeah.
Girl, she can't handle herself in an interview. I'm pulling out all of the truth.
Exclusive. Yeah.
That's exciting. So we've got the Shielders,
Yep.
who are Lamertians. Did I
Yep.
say that right? But they come from Seleucia?
Seleucia, yeah.
Seleucia.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And where's that at in the galaxy, though? How far away is it?
It's pretty far.
Okay.
And I forget, 'cause I'm really bad with numbers, how far that it is.
Oh,
But it
okay.
is far. Like, it takes a couple days to get there.
A couple days.
Okay, maybe like,
So it's like to the
Several.
moon? They're on the south side of the moon?
no, it's a minute. But they have different technology than us. So, like, maybe
Okay.
it would take a couple of days for them. But, like,
Yeah.
if we use our technology, please, y'all be dead before you get there. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they sharing any of that with us? No comment?
No, no comment.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All right. So you said the main character is like the main alien character was these shielders, right?
That's like the alien race, if you will. I'm not going to pick that apart because you got to find out. But then the storylines are discussed and like you get the point of view of Kay and Avis.
Kay and Avis, okay.
Henry Rickner.
All right.
And Melissa Pebbles.
Okay, so we've got Kay and Henry and Melissa. Okay. Are they like BFFs? Do they like...
Are they connected at all?
Yeah, like, well, like, I mean, do they like live together? Or are they
so
like...
Kayan and Melissa work together. They are BFFs.
Okay.
And then Henry used to date Kayan.
Oh,
So
okay.
the plot thickens.
Does that have anything to do with Melissa?
In what way?
I just went down a path in my head.
Like a love triangle?
Yep.
I don't know.
All right, so let's see. Melissa might be... No, we're going to let that go.
We'll
We're
see.
going to let that go. We're going to see what happens.
We'll see.
And so I guess, like, can you give us anything about what the plot of the first book is?
Basically, is what the fuck is going on, right?
Okay.
Where's Earth in all of this? Is Earth going to be lost because there's another alien race that is quickly coming in and to take over?
Okay.
So who's good,
So
who's
is
bad?
that why it's called the Shielders? Because this is that race that they're supposed to be coming in and helping us with?
The bad ones? The
Yeah.
the Timortians are the bad ones, if
Which
that's true.
sounds oddly familiar to Lemertian.
What?
Right? Lemertian? You said that earlier.
Yeah, but it's Timortian with like a T.
But they're very similar. Did they grow up in the same solar system? Are they like offshoots? Did they like jump on a ship together?
No, not like that. Not like that.
No.
They're their own culture and their own society. Yeah. Yeah. You'll have to
I've
find
got
out.
some thoughts. I feel like it's going somewhere. My brain just made up some stories. All right. Well, so we've heard a little bit about
Well, you
what's
asked me
going
what
on.
like the art.
Yeah.
So basically, it's what the fuck's going on, what's happening on Earth, and then how do we get from point A to point B? Like, is Earth in trouble or is it fine? Or am I gonna survive this or not? It's really a lot of questions.
All right. So do you mind if I ask a question that has been rewritten? Okay. Okay. So I got a sneak peek. Like, I feel like several months ago.
Yeah.
At a potential kind of like first couple chapters of
I
the
asked
book.
him to better read because I just wanted somebody that wasn't invested to read it. So I said, hey, you like to read? You want to read this for?
And probably some of the viewers were on your mailing list and got that first chapter as well.
Yeah,
right?
so if you were
And
around
so-
like last year, I did like a little giveaway or a little sneak peek that you could read the first chapter.
Yeah.
It's completely different now. So
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean is like it is very different. You've told me that it's been completely rewritten, but even in that first chapter or so, there was some pretty intense like not space battles, but it was like there was like battles on Earth, and it was just like hit the ground running.
Yeah.
With the book.
there's a lot of action.
And so did that sense of action stick with the rewrite, or are we working our way into the story?
No,
with
it
the
got
rewrite?
worse. So it's like boom, bam, surprise.
All right.
So I'm sorry, I'm like really nervous that he's just gonna. Oh, he's back there. Look.
Hey.
Ah. So no, it's turned up more.
Okay.
You have a more sense of urgency and more confusion and more explosions.
Which directly relates back to
You gotta stay. You can't run away. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Relates directly to.
which relates directly back to what you're saying at the beginning as well about the book having to do with mental health issues,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because one of the main characters, and you haven't really talked about who it is yet, and that's fine. We don't need to know.
They might all have something.
That's true. But, because we all do, right? But how does mental health really truly play into this? Because it's a science fiction, romance, dystopian kind
So
of idea.
I was really annoyed that when people who are not in the mental health field write about mental health, it's always this thing that derails characters and that makes them less than.
Yeah.
That's
It's a disability
problematic.
in some
Yeah,
ways, the way
exactly.
it's
That's
seen.
problematic for me because I don't see mental health or mental illness, excuse me, as a negative. I see it as a strength. It's the problem's not the problem, the coping is the problem. Virginia Satir hit.
Mm-hmm.
And so they use, like, everyone has been affected by mental health in this book in some way. Some of it is very obvious, some of it is more stealthy, so you have to read the series to see how things come out and play out. But I wanted it to be a positive. I wanted to say, like, look, this crazy thing, like aliens coming to the world is crazy, and it will make people, you know, go from one camp to another. Like, maybe you thought you were healthy, but then you were having a hard time adjusting to this new way of life. I don't know. Aliens haven't really showed up yet that I know of. They haven't come knock on my door, right?
That we know of.
That
that person could be an alien.
Anyway, but I wanted it to be a strength. Like, sometimes it does derail people. Like, mental illness does derail people. And in the book, there might be moments where they get derailed, but they might use it as a tool to get from, again, point A to point B, to see what their goals and what their aspirations are.
I like the idea also as a mental health person. Like, I like the idea that, like, a mental health practitioner, somebody who's trained and licensed in it, has seen it and worked with it, wrote a fiction book which incorporated those elements. So I'm really looking forward to reading it, because I'm going to judge you.
Yeah, I hope you do. It's to get the discussion rolling. I've read recently there was a book I will name nameless that did a very bad job of showcasing a certain aspect of mental illness in a positive way and made that person the villain. And I just have a very strong reaction to that, because people are not villains because they are ill. Again, everything's about choices and morality, but, like, come on. They're not villains. Like, nobody who is ill is a villain. Sorry. I'm
well, and honestly, like, I know that we're, like, kind of going a little away from your book, but it's still in the same topic, because that was, besides a plethora of other issues with the 50 Shades series, that was something that really bothered me, because they placed his kind of kink and fetish life around the idea that he was somehow abused or neglected as a child, and that somehow led to mental health issues as an adult, and this was his outlet. So it continued to, like, propagate the idea that people who are involved in the kink community somehow have a disability or a mental health issue, when that is not true.
I'm reading a series now about, like, kind of like that, where the more I get into it, their reasoning for his kink and his interest in, like, exploring different sexual avenues is because he was traumatized, and I'm like, that's
not how it works.
True.
Yeah, like, there are people, just like anywhere else in the world, there are people who have mental health issues or traumatic pasts and involved in all kinds of things. Nobody sits around and says, oh, well, you just like missionary sex because when you were a kid, this happened.
Yeah, no.
No, they just create linkages because that's that shaming around sex.
Yeah.
So we got to wrap up on time a little bit here. We've gone over our typical length of video.
Sorry.
But the thing that I don't like when anybody, and I'm not saying that I'm a good interviewer at all. I feel like this was a terrible interview.
Whatever.
Let me know below if you think it was horrible.
Oh my God, no.
But every time I see somebody interview somebody either about a movie, a project, a book, anything like that, they always have this, like, kind of standard set of questions, the same kinds of things I've asked, like, who's the characters, what's going on, tell us about it, why should anybody read it? The question that I have to wrap all this up with is, what is the question you wish I would have asked, and then answer it? Because there's usually something that you want to say.
What makes this different than all of the other science fictions, alien
Because to be
novels?
quite frank, like, when you were first like, I'm writing a science fiction book, like, what was this, like 3-4 years ago, whatever it was?
A long time ago,
You were like, oh, I'm writing a science fiction book, and I was like, cool, what's it about? And you were like, aliens coming to Earth, and I was like,
boring, very boring. Yeah.
Here we go. You want my stack of movies for inspiration? You know, like, of course you're writing a book about that.
Right.
So what does make it different?
It's not that. I think science fiction has an equation that works for traditional science fiction authors and movies and books and shows and blah, 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 blah. But there's got to be more substance to it. Like, sure, aliens are real and, like, they show up and they do change the Earth game, if you will. But this one it has heart. It's more than just aliens are real, let's go on a space odyssey and, like, shoot some stuff up and blow some people up and, like, change the galaxy. It's not about that. It is really about connection with other people, connection with the Earth itself, connection with community, love, and healthy relationships, which I haven't seen in science fiction, at least in my point of view, done well.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great book. I can't wait to read about alien sex. The little things that you've shared sound really fascinating.
A lot of that comes in the second book, so stay tuned, get invested, know the characters. Yeah. Because, like, with anything, in the way I see it, you're not just gonna jump in and be like, yeah, we're having sex now. Like, no, the Earth is like in danger, and you're like life.
Nope. First of all, alien shows up. There's like bombs going off everywhere. I'm gonna be like, what you got? How can we? Can I put my ponytail with yours? Like, how does this work? You know, like, not that I have one, but I'm just saying, like, you know, like.
And that might be how you, and that might be how you handle it. But that's true. This world is mine, and so they're more worried about bigger and more important things.
You heard it here first. Aliens are worried about bigger things than sex.
The humans.
The humans definitely are worried about bigger things than sex. Thank you so much just for like chit-chatting. I thought it would just be like a fun video to like know a little bit more about what's going on and everything. So stay tuned for some more videos and like us, subscribe, bell for notifications.
Yeah, find us over on Instagram. I'm Samantha Heuwagen, and you're at
Chris Bellows.
The link will be below.
We're best friends.
He finally admits it. Yes. But the book drops May 21st. Yeah. Anywhere books are sold.
And when is the book launch event? The
book launch, if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, come and visit us. The book launch is June 2nd at Charged Books. That's in Decatur, Georgia, and the doors open at 7 p.m. Yeah. So come,
and I'm going to be emceeing, so you're going to get to see my face.
Yeah. If you like this banter, it gets worse in person.
Oh yeah, give me a microphone, girl. You're gonna get some pirouettes, probably some like death drops. Like it's gonna be a problem. Yeah. Yes. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the video, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.